Rompe, 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 rompe. Hey guys, it's me again. I hope you're all well. Welcome back to my channel. So I know a lot of you guys seem to be checking out my how I got a 9 in GCSE Spanish video, and that is my most popular video as well. So I thought, why not make another languages video about basically how to be fluent in pretty much any language. I will be talking about Spanish, but this is applicable to pretty much any language you're learning. You know the drill, guys. Before we get started, don't forget to smash that subscribe button down below to see me weekly. Anyways guys, without further ado, let's just jump right.
Hey guys, just wanted to let you know that I have now started my GCSE and A-level tuition. So I do GCSE tuition for Spanish, so if you'd be interested, the link is in my description.
So I'm going to start off with a little bit of context to hopefully give you some advice about languages. So I'm going to tell you a bit about my language journey. Many of you already know that Spanish was one of my favourite subjects in my GCSEs. It was maths, physics and Spanish. Maths I had always been good at since I was like 8. It was my strongest subject, so it was like a second nature to me. Physics was my favourite because it was challenging and it made me feel good that I was good at something that was really hard for me. But Spanish was just something that I loved and I was good at because I loved it. Like, I genuinely had such a deep passion for Spanish, which is why I spent a lot of my own time getting to know the Spanish culture, the Spanish music scene, TV shows, everything like that, because I just loved it. Now, when I moved on to my A-levels, I knew I was going to take economics at university, and so I knew that I would have had to take maths and economics. Now, usually you do take 3 A-levels, but you can also take 4. My school did let me take 4 as well, so I did take maths, further maths, physics and economics. I had to take further maths because first of all, I was really good at maths, and second of all, I needed it for economics. Well, it would have really helped me, which is why I did get some good offers, because I had further maths. Now, that meant I had one free subject basically, and I could have either took Spanish or I could have taken physics. Now, the reason why I took physics was because I knew how competitive economics degrees are at university. It's hard to get a place at one of the top universities, and to maximise my chances, I wanted to take a subject that was sort of analytical and it displays my problem solving abilities, which is what physics does. And so that way I thought I would have been able to get some of the really good university offers because I had physics. This is basically my biggest A-level regret, that I took physics instead of Spanish, because honestly, when I took physics as an A-level, I started to fall out of love with physics because it was really difficult. I don't know whether I would have struggled with Spanish or not, but I know that because I was so invested in everything about Spanish, not even just Spain Spanish, but South American culture, South American Spanish. Because of that reason, I know that I would have been better at Spanish than I would have been at physics. And so my first piece of advice to you guys is, if you are good at a language and you really enjoy it, I would really encourage you to take it as an A-level, because I really wish I took it. I really wanted to take Spanish with economics, so a joint degree. And I can't do that anymore because I didn't take Spanish as an A-level. Now, when I was learning Spanish as a GCSE, I would say I was pretty good at Spanish, in the sense that if I went to a Spanish-speaking country, I would have probably been able to understand what people are saying firsthand. Obviously not very quickly, I'd have to process things, and then I'd probably be able to respond pretty well. Now, obviously, because I didn't take Spanish as an A-level and I didn't have the practice that I did in school, I forgot a bit of my Spanish, and so I realised that in year 12 my family and I went on holiday to Dominican Republic, which is a Spanish speaking country in South America, and I quickly realised that I was struggling to respond to what people are saying in Spanish. And so this is when I was like, okay, well, I really want to improve my Spanish again because it's something that I love. I don't ever want to forget that. Now, I would say I'm at a point where I'm better at Spanish now than I was in year 11. And that is because of what I have done, and I'm going to share with you everything I have done to help you guys basically get, if not fluent, near fluent. By no means am I saying I am as good as a native speaker and I'm perfect at Spanish, but you know, I can speak pretty well. So I'm just going to jump right in with all the tips and tricks. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is vocab. Honestly, I don't really know if schools emphasize on vocab enough, but even if they do, I don't really think children understand how important vocab is to be good at a language. Now in school you do learn a lot of formal vocab, the main topics. For example, you learn about family, you learn about vacation, you learn about weather. You learn more about the formal subjects, the formal dialect. And this is where I really will emphasize on watching Spanish TV shows. I'm not just talking about the mainstream TV shows such as Elite or La Casa de Papel, but I'm talking about the regional Spanish TV shows. Let me put it this way. Pretty much everybody knows about Bollywood, right? Whether you've seen it or not, it's a pretty mainstream thing. But if you're familiar with the TV channels such as Star Plus, B4U, ZTV, I'm pretty sure you're going to be Asian. And why is that? Because the Bollywood films are aimed towards a much wider audience, because they know it's not just Asian people that watch Bollywood. It's got a pretty broad range of people who watch it. However, if you are familiar with Star Plus, CTV, B4U, any of those types of TV programs, I'm pretty sure you are South Asian of some sort, unless you are really passionate about, I don't know, Asian culture. That is because those TV shows are aimed towards the South Asian people, because they know these are what the people want to watch. And so they make TV shows about that in a much similar context, because things like La Casa de Papel or Elite, they are Netflix shows, and Netflix aims towards a much wider audience. So they are very mainstream, and those topics that come up within those TV shows are very common themes. Crime, murder, mystery, romance. Pretty standard, which is in most mainstream films or TV shows. However, when you delve into regional TV shows, they cover a much broader range of topics. I'll give you one really good example. So I watched one Colombian telenovela. I actually started watching this when I went to the Dominican Republic in year 12, and you know when you go abroad, your Netflix will pick up on your location. So it started recommending me this TV show called Sin Senos Si Hay Paraíso. So I thought, let me watch this. I still watch it to this day, and that is a huge reason why my Spanish is much better. Let me break it down. So this TV show is 3 seasons long. Each season has about 70 or 80, even 90 episodes, and each episode is 40 minutes long. That's basically how regional telenovelas are. Whereas if you look at the TV shows such as Elite or Money Heist, they are probably what, 5 or 6 episodes per season, and each episode is what, roughly an hour, 40 minutes. So there's much more content you can actually watch, and so therefore much more you can learn from. Not only that, but telenovelas in general cover much broader topics. They're extremely dramatic. Without spoiling anything for you, this TV show covers topics such as murder, friendship, mystery, black magic, university, school. It's really dramatic. Spanish TV shows, well, Colombian or Latin American TV shows, telenovelas, are extremely dramatic, and so that has drastically improved my vocabulary, because now I know so many random words or random pieces of vocabulary from all of these topics. Also, when you start watching regional TV shows, you get to learn about how actually people speak. So when you go to a country, you can pick up on the way people are speaking quicker, you can understand things better, and therefore you can reply better. It's a massive help if you watch regional TV shows. I'll have to go through my Netflix account and check what I've seen and stuff, but I'll put any on the screen right now. The second part of vocab that I wanted to talk about was music. I listen to an awful lot of Spanish music. Every single day at least I will be listening to my Spanish playlist. I will link my playlist in the description below. There's a lot of Spanish songs there for you. I've told you guys before that in some of the songs I actually used their phrases in my exam, and I got a grade 9. The songs that I did use, I think it was Suave and Amor. Esta noche yo quiero bailar por la última vez. Amor, amor, amor. Rompe. Certain Spanish styles are easier to understand than other Spanish styles. For example, I find that Spain Spanish is harder to understand than South American Spanish. That might just be also because I prefer South American Spanish a lot, but I also find that the accent in Spain is a lot thicker and faster, and they speak with lisps as well because there was a king there. It's a long story. I also find that like in Spain they speak a lot faster. In South America they speak más lento. In Spain, because they speak with a lisp, instead of saying si they say th, So fácil will become fácil, and they speak really, really fast. When you're listening to an artist like Rosalía, half of the time you will not understand what she's saying because she misses out so many of her endings of words because they speak really fast there, and she will also pronounce things with a lisp because that's how they speak there. Whereas if you start off listening to artists from South America, especially Colombia, Colombians speak very clearly. Mexicans, I find they speak slowly. So those two are things that I can really understand. When you listen to a song firsthand, you won't be able to understand the majority of it. Oh yeah, and another really good genre to listen to is bachata. I think that is Dominican. Dominican music is also quite easy to understand, I think. Listen to Romeo Santos, he does bachata, and yeah. Now, learning all this nice new vocabulary is all well and good until you have to come and speak it. When you come to speak it, you can find yourself at a mental block thinking, how do I formulate this into a sentence? And this is where fluency becomes very important. So the second thing I wanted to talk about was fluency. You're gonna think this is extremely weird and you're probably gonna see me very differently after this video, but I'm telling you now, this really will help. I think it's very important to speak to yourself. If you're lucky enough to have someone in the same household as you or some friends and family who are speaking the language you're learning, then you can practice with them. But I live in an Indian household where the most my dad can say is sí, mija, sí, because he learned that one time on holiday, and now if I'm speaking to him in Spanish, that's all he'll say. So this is why you should speak to yourself. And the first thing I will say is, if you've got a dog and you go for walks, speak to yourself on the walks. I sometimes do this, okay, it's very weird, I know, but you know, I take my dog for pretty long walks because he gets so cranky if he doesn't go for his morning half-an-hour walk. So in that time, I can sometimes get a bit bored listening to music or something, so sometimes I will just talk to myself in Spanish. You're not gonna look crazy if you put in your headphones and you act like you're on the phone. You won't look crazy, okay? It will look like you're talking to someone. And this is why I think it's a really good idea to pretend you're talking to someone on the phone. So for me, sometimes I'll think like I'm talking to my family in Venezuela and I'm here on holiday in the UK. So sometimes I'll just pretend to be on the phone to, let's say, my mom in, I don't know, Venezuela. I'll be like, hola mamita, ¿qué tal? ¿Está bien? Estoy caminando con mi perrito, quien es como mi hermanito. Sí, es muy travieso y muy lindo. ¿Qué está pasando aquí? Ay, nada más, nada más. Bueno, ciao. I know you're gonna be like, what on earth is going on here? Oh my god, have you gone crazy? But honestly, that will help with your fluency a lot. I'm telling you, it really will. So I guess when you're talking to yourself, when you're pretending to be the other person, ask yourself questions in your head. So, okay, what are you doing? And then reply in Spanish or whatever language you're learning. I find that really helps with being able to reply to maybe common things that you might hear in like a normal Spanish speaking country. If you don't want to be going out on a walk and just talking to yourself like a lunatic, that's okay. You can always do it in your room or if you're in the shower. Or alternatively, you could sort of describe the room you're in or describe something. For example, if I was to describe this room that I'm in right now, I could say something like, mis ropas están ahí y aquí es mi bolsa y mi bolsa tiene mis cosas para mi escuela. Eso es para mi pelo. Simple things like that will really help with your fluency. Now, I'm pretty much exposing myself here, but oh well. So you know when I talked about watching Sin Senos Si Hay Pari, so I'm just gonna call it Sin Senos because it's too long. I learned so many phrases from that TV show, it's amazing. So for example, I don't know if it's just Colombian or if it's like a South American thing, but they often say hágale. I know hágale is Colombian, but they say, si me entiendes? So randomly, if I'm in the kitchen and my mum's there, I'll just randomly burst out speaking in Spanish to her. And bless her, she doesn't understand a thing I'm saying, but she will literally say to me, have you gone mad? I think you've gone mad. But I know it's weird, but it really helps me. She won't understand a word I'm saying, but I'll randomly say new things I've heard or new things I've learned from my TV show or random things I just want to say for the sake of saying. They don't even have to make sense. They could be like, mami, tu pelo es muy suave y tus ojos marrones está mi corazón. Doesn't make sense, but it's a random thing, random sentence put together from the top of my head. It really helps with your fluency. Final point I'm going to talk about is an online website called Coffee Break. This is 100% not sponsored. No one's paid me to say this, although they probably should because, you know, I'm really advertising them out here. They have quite a lot of languages on their website that they can help you learn. So they have podcasts and they have a course. The course you have to pay for, but you don't have to pay for the podcasts, and the podcasts are like 20 minutes long. So they have 4 levels, I believe. There is beginner, intermediate, higher intermediate and advanced. I started listening on higher intermediate to sort of get a feel for what it's about, and it's really good. I found that I was pretty much able to understand pretty much all of it because the way they speak is very slow, and it really helps you because they do parts of it in Spanish and then explain some parts in English. So in the podcast, it's basically a conversation between 2 or 3 people. They basically just have conversations about different topics. It is Spain Spanish, so they have got the accent, but it is extremely clear.
¿Estás trabajando en colegios de secundaria o de primaria?
En colegios de secundaria. Mis alumnos tienen 16, 17 y algunos 18 años.
Normally in a normal conversation or in Spanish TV shows, you'll see they speak extremely fast, but this is really good because they have the 4 levels, and each level they go through different topics, and it's really, really useful. So definitely check that out. It's completely free unless you go on the course. Don't use the course. I don't have the course. Just go on the podcast, and the podcasts are great. So yeah, that is it for today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a huge thumbs up and smash that subscribe button down below to see me weekly. Anyways, guys, I'll see you next time. Bye.